Hi, this is Tara Michael, and this is my Module 5 reflection for Trends in Instructional Design. As the use of technology evolves, it is more prevalent in educational settings. A 2017 survey displayed the use of technology in a classroom environment. Obviously, this has changed, being influenced by COVID-19 and the need to interact with learners from a distance. While technology use is on the rise, many instructors are not entirely comfortable with the tools. According to the 2021 article, Investigation of the Relationship Between Prospective Teachers' Attitudes Towards Mobile Learning and Their Readiness for Mobile Learning, authors point out that there are advantages and disadvantages to mobile learning. On this slide, one can view the different viewpoints of mobile learning. A traditional viewpoint would see mobile learning as a disadvantage for various reasons, such as the lack of adaptation to mobile phone functions, not having enough storage. Students are not able to interact with the internet. Some of the devices might be too small for the applications. Easily, a mobile device can disconnect from Wi Fi. There are limited battery lives, and there might be security problems with a mobile device. In contrast, we can highlight the digital perspective and the following advantages. It's easy to communicate when you have a mobile device, and you can access it anywhere. There are unlimited learning opportunities that address the different needs of various individuals. There's opportunities for cooperative learning or to be learning independent. One can access it at any time or place. The growth of social networking online has opened doors for people to interact and collaborate. It only makes sense to integrate social networking into education. Social networking can be skewed as good or bad depending how it's used. The traditional viewpoint might say that social media has a lack of face to face interaction. It can also be distracting as one can find many different ways to interact with inappropriate things on social media. In this way, it's hard to monitor, and cyberbullying is an issue. In addition, the learner would need a personal device and they might even need training depending on the platform. However, the use of social media can also increase collaboration and participation with students. Students can interact with anyone within the country or internationally. They can find the information on many different subjects just by a click of a button. The students can ask any questions and find the answers. A personal learning network is a combination of the people one interacts with, the social online interactions and websites followed that helps shape one's ideas as well as answer questions. We can say that we connect to different people with unique expertise using various tools for authentic and constantly changing purposes. On this slide, one can see how personal learning networks were traditionally used versus how they are now. Traditionally, people would interact face to face with colleagues, reading books, newsletters, or classes. Those were the ways that we would be able to interact in a traditional way without being able to branch outside our immediate circle. However, digitally, there are various websites that one can use for their personal learning network. I use Twitter, Facebook, Pinterest, and Instagram for myself. I also like to read blogs or listen to podcasts. These are all very easily accessible. I can connect with anyone internationally. And there's also many different communities that one can connect with in order to answer questions or focus on my own needs. Augmented reality is a new and growing trend in mobile games. However, it can be a resource used in instructional design and education. One can look at it as contrasting lenses as viewed on the slide. Augmented reality would need a device and training for most people. Sometimes it can be said that there's a lack of privacy as it is used in real time and your field of vision can be manipulated. It does not replace hands on learning and it can be expensive. However, it happens in real time and is a learner interacting with the real world. It is extremely engaging and it's easy for access as long as you have the tools needed. It immerses the learner right into their learning and it's within their field of vision. Virtual reality. Virtual reality is much like augmented reality and has recently been shifted towards educational purposes rather than just games. However, a traditional person might look at it as there's less human connection and again it's expensive and needs training. It can be addictive and there's a lack of flexibility. In addition, it limits your field of vision. However, the digital viewpoint might say that it's a safe platform for learning out of reach concepts such as medical concepts or interacting with chemicals or science concepts. A student can take a virtual field trip anywhere, and students are mostly already familiar with virtual reality, so it would be easy for them to learn. Gamification is an education is a teaching method that involves game-like scenarios using curriculum and the objectives of the course. The purpose of these games systems is to promote student engagement and motivate students to participate in course activities. The concept of gamified education has become extremely popular with a wide range of companies that have created game platforms for many different subjects. However, the traditional viewpoint might say that gamification is a distraction that decreases attention span. In addition, having various games on as your curriculum can be expensive. It also requires access to a computer and internet and replaces hands-on learning. However, one might say that is incredibly engaging and already widely used by many schools. Gamification provides immediate feedback, it's meaningful, and it improves retention of students' learning. Analytics allows one to track and monitor progress of a learner, allowing the instructor to address needs and adapt learning styles accordingly. However, it does replace the questioning of a student or the interaction with a student. In some ways, it's easier to just review the actual student work that they have performed pen and paper. It can be time consuming and overwhelming to look at all the different data that computer programs can provide. Also, some may ask, how do we actually apply what we learn through the data? However, the digital viewpoint would say that it easily evaluates student understanding in a quick, real time data way. It's easy to access, it's immediate. You can collaborate with peers who are all looking at the same data on a platform, and it's efficient. When considering both traditional and digital viewpoints, I can consider both perspectives. I embrace technology and use it often. It is not going away. As a society, we need to embrace technology and think of ways to integrate it in positive ways. Face to face learning will always be important for collaboration. However, using gamification, networking, and different realities can be engaging for learners. In conclusion, technology needs to be aligned to the needs of the learner and the curriculum. Training is needed for the instructors to feel comfortable with using the technology. Lack of knowledge when it comes to technology is what causes the gap between the traditional and digital viewpoints. It is important to understand where different viewpoints come from in order to come together and successfully teach our students. We need to address the learning curves to make sure all generations are able to use technology. Thank you.